Yes, ma'am.
What was the first chapter we finished, children?
Chemical reactions in
Chemical reactions. A quick recap we will take for the first chapter. What are the different things that we have learned?
There are different types of reactions.
Types of reaction. Yes, Maisha told one. What are how many types? How many types of reactions?
Balancing reaction.
4 types.
Balanced reactions.
Yes, balancing reactions, Karun. 4 types of reaction. The first one is
Combination reaction.
combination reaction,
combination reaction. Second one,
decomposition reaction,
done. Third one,
Displacement.
displacement reaction,
displacement reaction. And the fourth one,
double displacement reaction.
The
double displacement reaction. And we have also learned about balancing of reactions.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You got an idea on exothermic and endothermic reaction, precipitation reaction, where the reactions in which gases are being evolved, and the various signs that we use to denote all the states of the matter, as well as whether a precipitate is formed or a gas is being liberated.
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Today we are going to start the second chapter. You can see my slide has been shared with you. It's acid, bases, and salt. Is the slide clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So basically, first we have to understand that why we are going to study the chapter acid, bases, and salt, and what are the objectives that helps us to understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Acid, bases, and salt are considered as the chemical nature of any substance. Yes, it is the chemical nature of any substance. Now, why should know the chemical nature of any particular substance? Because we will understand that what kind of reaction it will undergo. What kind of reaction it will undergo, in the sense you will be able to predict what will be the product which will be formed when these reactions react, when these substances react with different other substances. Nida, Jheel, you joined just now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Is my screen, can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's good.
Fine. So let me just quickly go through the objectives. We understand the nature of a substance, that is whether a particular substance is acidic, basic, or a neutral substance. And if we know the nature of the substance, we understand the various ways it will react to get the desired end product. Okay? And we also come to know the industrial uses of these substances. In this whole chapter, you will be learning about what kind of reactions acids and bases they do, what are the industrial uses of these commonly known acids and bases, how they help us in day-to-day life. Because in day-to-day life also, we come across many things which are either acidic, basic, or neutral in nature. And based on that, we decide their uses. Moving on to my next slide, you can see I have put on pictures of some of the commonly known acidic substances, basic substances, and neutral substances. In acidic substances, sources of organic acid is written. Organic acid means the acids that we get naturally from any food item. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. In that picture, if you can see, there is something called as citric acid, oxalic acid, formic acid, ascorbic acid. And each one of them is associated with one particular food item. Like tomatoes for malic acid and citric acid. There are more than these two acids in tomatoes, but these are the two names that I have put across here. Then you have lemon, which also has a combination of formic acid and citric acid. You have ascorbic acid. These are the things that makes us to understand that certain things contain acid, which we use in day-to-day life. Now in day-to-day life, how do we identify whether a particular thing is acidic? The most simple way to identify is, if a substance is sour to taste, then it is acidic. So by and large, you can say all the different types of lemons, the raw fruits, tomatoes, all this come under acidic substance. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to basic substance. Some of the basic substance which I have already given you here is picture of an antacid. When do you take antacid?
When you have acidity.
While acidity, yes. Some like ENO you take at times when you are having acidity. Then you have toothpaste, which is also considered as a basic substance. Then you have baking soda, baking powder. All these things are commonly used basic substances. Yes, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Soaps and
Yes, ma'am.
detergents also come under basic substances. Now comes the neutral substances. Under neutral substances, one thing is very clear to you, that is water being poured in glass. That means water is a neutral substance. Apart from that, there are three more pictures. One is of onion and the other two are of two flowers. All of them are neutral substances. They cannot be considered either as acidic or as basic substance. These neutral substances can also be called as salts. Not all neutral substances are salts, but some of the neutral substances can be called as salts. Hence, the topic name stands as acids, bases, and salt.
Salt.
Yes?
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
second, now the slide that you are seeing, it is having some common things that we use in our day-to-day life, which are acidic in nature. Lemon, which primarily contains citric acid. Milk, lactic acid. Vinegar, that we use in most of the items, is acidic acid. Tomato is a combination of malic acid and citric acid, which are the two main acids. Apart from that, it has also various other acids involved in it. Tamarind, tartaric acid, and apple, malic acid. Now, if you see the ingredients here, lemon, vinegar, tomato, tamarind, and apple, all of them has sour taste to it. Apple, when it is raw, it has sour taste. Even if it is fully ripe, then also a little percentage of sourness we get out of that fruit. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about milk?
Yes, ma'am.
What about milk? Do we get sour taste out of milk?
Sometimes.
Yes, ma'am. When it's fresh.
Okay. When do we get sour taste out of milk?
When it's not good.
Yes, Shamak?
Don't know, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else would like to? Yes, Sarvajit. You are smiling. Tell me, when do you find milk in sour taste?
I don't know. Maybe when it is fermented.
When it is fermented, okay. The better word for it is when it curdles.
Yes.
Yes? When it curdles, yes?
Am I
Yes,
audible?
Jyotsna?
Ma'am, am I audible?
You are audible.
Okay.
You are audible, Jyotsna. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am?
You have joined
Ma'am.
now, Jyotsna?
Yes, ma'am.
Ananya, ma'am?
Yes. Who is this?
Ma'am, it's Pranavi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Pranavi. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Ubaid?
Ma'am,
Ubaid,
Yes, ma'am.
are you able to see my presentation?
Yes.
Everybody who is online is able to see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Some of you have joined now. I will quickly tell you, we started the chapter acid, bases and salt. We are learning the chemical nature. These acid, bases and salt are considered as chemical nature of substances. And we are going to learn how to identify what are the uses chemically as well as in industrial way for the substances which are acidic or basic or neutral in substance as a substance. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we were talking about the common substances which are acidic in nature, in which we were discussing on milk. Milk as such doesn't give any sour taste, but when milk curdles, it gives us sour taste. It is because milk contains a carbohydrate called lactose. L-A-C-T-O-S-E, lactose. This lactose on curdling changes into lactic acid. Now, lactic acid is sour in taste. So, if you taste raw cheese, it will give you a little percentage of sourness. In the same way, if you taste curd, which has lot of lactic acid, it will also give you the taste of sourness. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
all together, can you tell me what does milk contains? A carbohydrate called
Lactose.
lactose, and it changes
Lactose.
into
Lactic acid.
lactic acid. Yes, that's why at times when you drink milk, after that it is always advisable to rinse your mouth immediately. Otherwise, the milk particles which are in your mouth will undergo degradation because of the bacteria present in your mouth. Lactic acid will be formed, and hence you will get a sour aftertaste in your mouth. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Looking at the screen, can you again tell me
Yes,
lemon
ma'am.
contains which acid in maximum percentage?
Citric acid.
Citric acid.
Very good. Milk?
Citric
Lactic acid.
Lactic
acid.
Lactic acid. Vinegar?
Acetic
Acid.
Acetic
Acetic
acid.
acid.
Yes. Tomato?
Malic and
Malic
citric acid.
malic and citric acid.
Malic acid and citric acid.
Citric
Tamarind?
acid. Tartaric acid.
Citric acid.
Tartaric acid. Apple?
Malic acid.
Malic acid. Now, I have given you almost 6 substances which are acidic in nature. In my next session, you are going to give me at least 2 more substances which are acidic in nature and the acid which is present in those things. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Two more food items which shows
Yes.
acidic nature and the acid present in it. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. Now can I move to my next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Comes the bases. Toothpaste, soap, milk of magnesia, lime, baking soda, borax. Toothpaste. Every day morning, all of you get up, take a big pulp of toothpaste and start brushing your teeth. Why do you think you brush your teeth at that time with toothpaste? Any idea?
Ma'am?
Who wants to guess also is fine.
Ma'am, it
Ma'am,
removes
ma'am.
all the bad odor.
Bacteria.
Bad odor, okay. One more answer I was getting.
Bacteria.
Bacteria, is this Shamak?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Bacteria.
Your mouth will
Very-
be acidic in nature.
Your mouth will be?
Acidic in nature, so toothpaste is a base and it neutralizes the thing.
Neutralizes it. How does the mouth gets acidic nature? At night we take dinner. Then
Due to saliva.
we at night after taking dinner, we rinse our mouth and we brush our teeth also. Yes, children?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
After that, our mouth, in our mouth, saliva gets accumulated, and along with that, certain food particles have a tendency to get stuck somewhere here and there in our teeth. Now, because of this, the bacteria present in our mouth starts acting on those food particles, which creates an acidic medium in our mouth. So to neutralize it, we use toothpaste, which is basic in nature. And looking at the screen, can you tell me which base is present in toothpaste?
Calcium carbonate.
Calcium carbonate.
Calcium
Calcium
carbonate.
carbonate.
Again, toothpaste is also made out of combination of many bases, but one of the strongest base is calcium carbonate. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Darmin, good answer. I think you only said to neutralize the mouth.
Yeah.
Darmin,
Yes, ma'am.
you said for neutralizing of the acid in our mouth.
Yes.
Okay. Next comes soap. Soap contains sodium hydroxide. That's why it is considered as a base. Next is milk of magnesia. We spoke about eno as a antacid. Milk of magnesia is also an antacid which contains magnesium hydroxide. Yes?
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
comes lime. This lime doesn't mean the fruit lime. This lime means what we call in Hindi chuna. Whitewashing, we use chuna, white color.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
That's that lime. That lime contains calcium hydroxide. You have baking soda, which is mostly used for baking purpose, which contains sodium bicarbonate and borax. Borax, how many of you know about borax? Anybody who knows what is borax?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Can anybody tell me what is borax used for?
I'm making slime and as a detergent,
Making?
slime and making detergents.
Okay. Any other answer? Any other answer? Borax is a thing that is used to kill insects. It's a white color powdery substance which is generally used to kill. It is a cleansing product which generally helps to kill insects or at times to get rid of moss. Borax is generally used. Yes, children?
Yes,
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Some
Yeah.
bases,
What about cleaning around the house? It's
Ma'am, I
good.
have a doubt from the previous chapter, actually, once.
you mean to say chemical reaction?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jyotsna. After I finish, I have a question time. At that time, you can ask your doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I have written like a disclaimer at the bottom of the slide, bases which can be dissolved in water are called as?
Alkaline.
Alkaline.
Yes. So some of the bases which can dissolve in water, I shouldn't say some, most of the bases can dissolve in water. And when they dissolve in water, they are called as alkaline.
Alkaline.
Yes?
Yes.
So the first thing we discussed is bases and salts are chemical nature. Second thing we discussed is why do we need to study this chapter? That means how it is going to be helpful for us if we learn about the chemical nature of a substance. Then we learned what are the common acidic, basic and neutral substances that we come across. Then some common acidic substances and what are the acids that are present in them. And now some common basic substances and what are the bases that are present in them. Am I clear in all these topics?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. Now, how to identify that a particular substance is acidic or basic? The first thing is using indicators. What are indicators? Indicators are those neutral substances which helps in identifying whether a particular thing is acidic or basic in nature. Yeah. Indicators are neutral substances which helps us to identify whether a particular substance is acidic or basic in nature. If I move back my slide, in this slide, can you see there are pictures of two flowers over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
These flowers,
Ma'am.
one second. These flowers are also neutral indicators, and onion also is an indicator. That's why I have kept the flowers and onion under neutral substances. Yes? Yes, Jyoti?
Ma'am.
How can onion be used as an indicator, ma'am, or how is it neutral? Because it has an acidic substance inside it and
I will come to that. Now, indicators are of two types. One is natural, second one is synthetic. Now, natural indicators which we get from natural substances. Natural indicators, common example is litmus, red cabbage, flowers like petunia and onion, and clove and vanilla. There are many substances which can be used as natural indicators. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Whereas if you see
Yes,
the
Yes,
name,
ma'am.
the third, thank you children, the third example that has been shared, phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is a synthetic indicator. That means it is produced chemically. We do not get it from any of the natural ingredients. Yes?
Yes.
yes.
Ma'am.
ma'am, I'm kind of lost. Where is the page number? What is the page number?
70.
Book page number? Did you get it, Jyotsna?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Masha.
Out of which first we will talk about litmus. Very common name. You might have heard about litmus in grade 7, grade 8 also. Litmus is basically a juice or an extracted juice of a lichen. Lichen comes under Thallophyta division. And actual litmus is a liquid or a solution that is used as an indicator. But mostly in labs, you get litmus paper. Litmus paper is nothing but plain paper. When dipped in these juices, juice, and then dried off, it turns into litmus paper. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This litmus generally has a violet color. The color of the litmus is violet, which is a combination of blue and red. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. Moving to the next one. There are so many natural indicators: turmeric, red cabbage, onion, and some of the way they react has been shared in the slide. Now, turmeric, which is generally yellow in color, changes into reddish brown when it reacts with base like soap. In your book also, there is an example given in your book which says that when the yellow stain of turmeric comes in contact with soap water while washing, it turns into reddish brown. That is when it gives the indication of soap being a basic substance. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Pranavi,
Yes, ma'am.
which natural indicator we are talking about?
Turmeric.
Turmeric. What is the kind of change that we see? The color
It
change
turns reddish brown
from which color?
from yellow to reddish brown.
From yellow to reddish brown. Now, Jheel, do we find this change with an acidic substance or a basic substance?
Ma'am, acidic.
The change will come when turmeric comes in contact with an acidic substance or a basic substance.
Ma'am, the acidic substance.
Acidic substance?
No.
But the change is coming when it is coming in contact with soap. What kind of substance is soap?
Basic.
Base. So the change of color for turmeric can be seen for
It turns into
basic
reddish
substance.
brown.
Basic substance.
Yes. Yellow to reddish brown. Next comes red cabbage. Though the name says red, but the color is purple. Changes from purple to red when in acidic medium, and it changes from which color to which color? Purple to bluish green when in
Purple to
basic
red.
medium. Purple to red in acidic medium and purple to bluish green
Bluish
in
green and basic
basic
medium.
medium. Correct, Maisha. Now, Varda,
Yes, ma'am.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Color change of red cabbage in acidic medium.
Ma'am, it changes from purple to red.
Very good. Ubaid, what happens in basic medium for red cabbage?
Ma'am, it changes from bluish green in basic medium. From
Changes from which color to
bluish
which
green.
color?
Purple to bluish green.
Purple to bluish green. Am I clear to all of you on this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Next
ma'am.
comes, yes. The last example for which a color change has been indicated here is beet juice, that is beetroot juice, which is generally red, dark red in color, almost looks like the color of, and it changes to purple when it comes in contact with basic medium. Vivekanand, what kind of color change do we see in case of beetroot juice? Vivekanand? I think he is not able to connect. Karun, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of color change do we observe in case of beet juice?
Can you repeat it? I just couldn't hear.
Yes, Karun?
I couldn't hear. Can you repeat the question?
Beet juice. What kind of color change do we observe for beet juice? In which medium?
Red to purple in basic substance.
Red to purple in basic medium or basic substance. Very good. Now, am I clear with all these color change thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. After that, there are example of onion, vanilla, and one more example is there in your book, that is clove. These three are called as olfactory indicators. Olfactory means something which you can identify with the smell. Now, when you put onion and you get a very pungent smell out of it, do all of you agree to it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, if I drop an acidic substance and a basic substance both on half cut onion, I will see that the acidic substance continues with the smell of pungency, whereas the onion piece in which basic substance is dropped, it will start losing its pungent smell will be gone. That's why it is considered as an olfactory indicator. Olfactory indicator is something which helps us to identify the nature of a substance using our nose. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And vanilla also has a very beautiful fragrance which is generally lost when it is added to base. That's why most of the time you might have seen while making cake, vanilla essence is always added to milk because milk contains carbohydrate which will turn into acid. Hence, the smell or the aroma of vanilla can be hold or can stay as it is in the dessert that has been cooked. All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Jyotsna, coming to your doubt, you said that onion contains acid, then how it can be considered as a neutral substance? Now, onion generally contains an acid which is called as sulfuric acid, but that present in onion is in a very unstable form. And the pungency of onion is taken as an olfactory indicator. That's why onion has been placed under neutral substances in my presentation.
Ma'am, I didn't understand.
Onion contains acid which is called as sulfuric acid. And this acid is very unstable form of acid. The pungency of onion, which is always with the vegetable, is used as an olfactory indicator. That's why I have put onion under neutral substance because the acid is in unstable state.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What are
Yes,
indicators? Yes, what are indicators?
They indicate the nature of a substance.
Indicate the nature of a substance. Yes. Let me name any one person, then I can get a better answer. Farhan, can you tell me what are indicators?
Ma'am, indicators are natural substances which tell the nature of a substance.
Natural substances. Can it always be a natural substance? Can't it be an artificial one also?
Yes, ma'am.
It can, correct? So just you need to take out the word natural and the sentence holds good. Can you repeat the sentence taking out the word natural?
Indicators are substances that show the nature of a substance.
Very good. Sufia, can you hear me?
Thank you.
Sufia, can you hear me? I think Sufia's audio is not Walking. Shivani? Shivani, what are the two different kinds of indicators?
Natural indicator and
Natural and? Huh? Can you be a little loud, Shivani?
natural indicators and synthetic indicators.
Very good. Natural indicators and synthetic indicators. Darmin, give example of two natural indicators which shows change in color.
Can you repeat the question?
Can you name two natural indicators which shows change in color? Yes, Darmin?
Red cabbage.
Darmin, can you be little loud and can others be in unmute, be mute condition, because I'm not able to hear the Darmin clearly. Darmin, can you repeat once again? Okay. Vaishnavi, can you tell me the two natural indicators which shows change in color?
Turmeric.
Yes.
Turmeric and red cabbage.
Red cabbage, very good. Maisha, two olfactory indicators?
Onion and vanilla.
Good. And the third olfactory indicator, which is here in the presentation, but I told the name.
Clove.
Clove, very good, very good. Now comes litmus. This is something which you might have done many times in the lab.
Yes, ma'am.
It is showing that when litmus is dipped in acidic medium, it changes from blue litmus to red. Yes? And
Yes, ma'am.
red litmus remains unchanged. Yes? Blue litmus changes to red, but red litmus remains unchanged. The opposite thing happens in case of base. That is, red litmus changes to blue, but blue remains unchanged. And for neutral substance, neither the blue nor the red shows any kind of change. Now, as I told, the color of litmus is purple in nature. So when you actually dip in an acidic medium, the bluish substance gets dissolved in it. That's why the red color is seen. In the same way, when you dip in a basic medium, the red color is dissolved in it and we can see the blue color out of it. One thing is very interesting to know, and you should always remember that for litmus paper, the base or the acid should be dissolved in water. Litmus will not work on any dry substance. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So in case you want to check what is the basicity of a soap and you take a piece of litmus paper and put it in white soap, no change of litmus will be seen. That doesn't mean that the substance is neutral, but it is because you have not dissolved it in water. Yes?
Yes,
Children, till here, is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We will close the session for today, as we have already covered the 45 minutes. Yes, Ahmed sir.
I'm requesting to all students leave this meeting, and already I have shared another link on given same email address. Need to open that link for Hindi classes.
Okay. So before leaving, read the textbook till what I have already taught you, and then if you have any queries, mark it down. In the next session, we will start with recap of the previous session as well as doubt clarification for this session. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, children, for being with
Thank
us.
you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Ma'am.